the virtues and sins. So, dear friends, the capital sins, or the sins that perhaps take us away from God, and deadly sins they are called, they kill us. They kill our spirit, they kill our soul. And therefore, I have spoken about pride, I have spoken about envy, about lust, about greed, about also gluttony. And today perhaps I would like to speak about anger or wrath. Or wrath. It's one of those sins, also terrible sins, that makes beast out of human beings. You know, a person when he's angry, he's beastly. He forgets everything. He doesn't know what he says. He doesn't know what he talks. And perhaps years and days of friendship is broken in just one moment with that angry outburst. It's called wrath. Wrath. And therefore this is perhaps very shameful for the person, at the same time deadly for his relationship with God and with person. What is it to be angry? Or rather, what is it to be wrathful? Wrathful. We say anger put together is wrath. So wrathful or anger is that expression, or perhaps that feeling, that reaction that we give, that we don't accept certain things or certain persons in our life. No. And therefore I have fixed my mind on certain things, and this is not my cup of tea. This is not what I expected, and therefore I give into an outburst which is called anger. Of course, there is something called rightful anger, and there is wrongful anger. Anger that is perhaps that we have to be angry, that we can't say that all the time I should be smiling, I should be jumping, I should be joyful. Things that are not okay, I have to say that it is not good. And perhaps I have to say it in strong words. Perhaps I could give you that example of Jesus getting angry when he enters the temple and he sees it's being used for all pagan purposes of selling, buying and noise, etc. And he takes perhaps a stick or a rope, as it were, and beats the people, a rightful anger. But at the same time, we can also speak of a wrong type of anger, the anger that destroys us, destroys our personality, destroys our relationship. And as I said, anger in a bad sense makes us like animals. So therefore I could give you a few scriptural quotations as to what the scriptures speak about anger. Psalm 37, 8 verse says, "Refrain from anger and forsake yourself." Beautiful words. Refrain from anger always. Be conscious of what you are talking, conscious of the situations around you, and refrain yourself. Psalm 86 verse 15 says, "But you, O Lord, are a God merciful and gracious, slow to anger and outstanding in steadfast love and faithfulness." This psalm praises God. God is never angry. God is never hateful. God doesn't want to take vengeance on us, but He's always merciful. He's always compassionate. You know, the last 2 Sundays, we had this beautiful gospel of the prodigal son, where Jesus shows His mercy and compassion. And also last Sunday, when we had this gospel of the adulterous woman, that He forgives us. "Woman, has no one condemned you? Nor do I condemn you, but sin no more." Beautiful words. Once again, the book of Proverbs, chapter 14 verse, "Whoever is slow to anger has great understanding, but he who has hasty temper exalts folly." He exalts folly because he is hasty in his temper. St. Paul in his letter to the Ephesians says, "Be angry and do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your anger." Beautiful words. Perhaps there are certain things that go beyond you and you get angry, but then you can ask for forgiveness. You know, I read somewhere that the husband and wife should not go to bed unless asking forgiveness from each other. Perhaps something that the wife has done has irritated the husband, or something that the husband has neglected to do or perhaps done that also hurts the wife, and to say, I am sorry before both of them go to bed. Such a great example for the children also to forgive each other. The opposite of anger is patience. Patience. Sometimes you can even get angry. But then when you control yourself and patient, perhaps it's like the rainwater that falls and cools everything. And therefore patience is great. So my dear friends, I ask that perhaps you can meditate a little more on this aspect of the deadly sin or capital sin of anger that destroys ourselves. And if you have been a victim, if you have perhaps even seen signs of anger in you that are uncontrollable, that makes you a fool as it were, perhaps ask God for mercy, compassion, and get up. And I hope in the Lenten season, my thoughts and reflections help you in order to come closer to God, because Lenten season is a season of grace. It's a season of blessing. God bless you.